Welcome to PA Timber Goose. Another beautiful Sunday morning, 4 a.m. Another early morning video. Today we're going to talk about the pheasant program and the pheasant stamp. How was it created? There was a time before our wildlife agency had the large amount of money sitting in their bank account as they do now, which I believe now is about $500 million. And this will be part of future videos. That's why I'm attaching it to this video. Our wildlife agency currently is sitting on $500 million. And they have a very large bank account due to the gas and oil well leases once fracking started in Pennsylvania. But that's not what the video is about today. Today we're going to talk about raising pheasants and the pheasant stamp. How did it come about? Before the wildlife agency had any money, they would reach out to the hunting community for new ideas. A lot of us were involved in the decision-making process of antlerless tags and ways how to save our wildlife agency money and make it a better hunting experience for all of us. So what used to happen in the past is a lot of hunters stayed in touch with their wildlife agency through the game news and their wildlife biology reports. You could buy a subscription from the Pennsylvania Game News, which used to be $10. I think it's about $24 now. And they would put articles in there about things they were trying to improve, and then you could go on their website where it says contact us and leave some emails. And the other place you would see information a lot of times would be Outdoor News. This is a really great newspaper. I've subscribed to this for a long time, and a lot of the things that change in the commission will actually be in this paper. So you can actually put an article in here and they will print it in the paper, and over a lot of times it actually helped create some of the hunting seasons that we have and some of the programs from the input of the hunting community, such as the early bear season, which is at the end of October. And through a lot of hunter input, it has changed a few times. They struggled over which week it was going to go in, and currently I believe it is at the end of October or beginning of November. I'm not sure which one it was, but the black bear is the #1 predator of deer fawns, and they have the highest mortality rate. And because we had so many bears in some areas, we had a lot of complaints of bear damage. So the bear population has been reduced. Another video that will be in the future will be hunting bear cubs. Should it be legal in Pennsylvania to harvest a bear cub? Generally that would be a sow with one or more little ones, and the bear cubs 100 pounds or less, which would be usually their first year as a cub. Should they be legal to harvest in Pennsylvania? Another very controversial topic in our state. The second change through community input of our hunting community would be the pheasant stamp program. Through a lot of emails back and forth, I constantly have sent emails over the years to our wildlife agency about other issues, and many of us have done that, and over the time that has created the pheasant program. They wanted a pheasant stamp. They created a pheasant stamp to pay for stocking pheasants because they became so costly. As any business, you have to make as much profit as you can to stay in business. You don't want to go bankrupt. So sometimes it's cheaper to farm things out by the commission, raising their own chicks and keeping their brood stock and paying their men and the fuel and the feed costs. It's become very expensive to raise their own pheasant chicks. So the idea of the hunting community at large was to buy pheasant chicks from an outside contractor or different farms in the area, which would save the commission a lot of money per bird, which would keep the pheasant stocking program still running and going. How much does a pheasant stamp cost in Pennsylvania if you want to hunt pheasants in our state? $26.97, and that goes towards all aspects of raising pheasants. Pennsylvania buys their pheasant chicks from farmers, much like on the chicken farms. So they have contractors that have big big pens and pheasants, and the tiny chicks are bought from those farms every year, and from multiple farms. It's not just one. In case the bird flu wipes out their entire population, they still have a supply of pheasants and pheasant chicks. Prior to restructuring its program in 2017 to purchase day-old chicks from private farms, it cost the PA Game Commission approximately $20 per bird to raise and keep pheasants. The annual cost of self-sustained propagation program ranged between $4.3 million and $4.7 million. That's a lot of money to raise pheasants. Fiscal year 1998 to 99, the cost to raise and release 200,000 birds was $14.09 per bird. Pre-2017, cost reached roughly $19.87 to $20.48 per bird. Only 50% of the birds were ever harvested. Most of those were lost to predators, which would be foxes, coyotes, and raptors. After the hunter harvested a bird, the estimated cost was $43 per bird. In 2017, the Wildlife Agency started to buy chicks from surrounding farms at a huge cost savings. Annual savings, the change was projected to save the agency between $200,000 and $500,000 a year. Cost reduction by 2018 to 2019, including the purchase of chicks and closing some farms, reduced production costs to $10.23 a bird. Total program savings, overall annual costs dropped from $4.4 million to $2.3 million. Following the shift to private chick suppliers and the implementation of a new pheasant stamp, which is $26.97. So if you want to hunt pheasants in Pennsylvania, you have to buy the stamp. That supports the entire process of raising and releasing pheasants into the state, which has been a boom for the Wildlife Agency. It has brought a lot of hunters back into the loop. One of the programs that actually benefited from the public input, that would be the hunting community, and the feedback that they got from all of us communicating through them through the entire process to save them money. At some point in time, there was also an audit to our Wildlife Agency, which I will talk about that in another video, to make sure all their money was going to the correct areas. And this is before the fracking started in Pennsylvania and the millions started to roll into their bank account. They were looking for new ways to save money, and a lot of the hunting community also had some input in that. So currently, our Wildlife Agency is sitting on $500 million. The Board of Commissioners has changed. A lot of the older members of that agency have retired. There were older hunters like ourselves, and they actually listened to the hunting community. The new leadership in our Wildlife Agency is all based on science and no input from the hunting community whatsoever. Thanks for watching PA Timber Ghost Outdoors in Pennsylvania. As always, give this video a like. It helps other people see it. Hit that subscribe button, leave your comments below, and we will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching PA Timber Ghost.